Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Just Plain Living. I'm John Gray.
Good morning. I'm Peggy Burton.
And I'm Jim Fuller.
And we're glad to be alive.
We're always glad to be here. That's right, yes.
Go back to that shot of Jim and Peggy, Philip.
Why?
I just want to see that shot. Look at there, Jim. You got a toboggan on top of your head. Look at
I
there.
love it.
You got a pumpkin sitting on your head,
I have
buddy.
a toboggan on my head or whatever that is.
There you go.
Behind me, yeah.
That's a pumpkin hat right there. Last week I had to wear a wig. I figured this week you needed a pumpkin hat.
What I really like about that shot, though, is somehow they've turned this red tie into neon back there in the back room. I really like it when that happens.
Talented, man.
On the clothes. I mean, it takes a lot of work to do that, you know.
I'm a little colorblind. I thought it was orange.
Did you?
Yeah. I had to be careful.
If you think that's
Yes,
orange,
I see
you're a
spots.
lot colorblind.
I see spots before my eyes.
Yeah, yeah.
So how's things going with you? How's your boot foot doing?
My boot foot is just fine.
I wish you guys
I'm
could see
anxious to
Peggy.
get out of it.
Peggy's one
They
leg
see
is
right
shorter
under
than
the
the
tail.
other.
Look at
There you
there.
go.
Look at
Yeah.
there.
That's great, isn't it?
That's
the boot,
what
it's very heavy. Have
She's
you ever worn
walking,
one?
you know, kind of crooked. You know, one leg shorter
I
than
can't
the
find
other
shoes
one.
that
You know,
match
that's
up
how-
on either
There you
side.
go. Well, that's what happens when you run somebody down your driveway and kick them to the curb.
We're not sure what happened to Peggy, but Peggy was gone for 2 weeks, and when she came back,
She won't tell.
she broke her foot or
She
something.
won't tell.
She won't
I
tell
think
us
she was
the
in
story.
Cabo or somewhere like that down in Mexico running wild.
Yeah.
That's probably
Oh,
what
yeah,
it
that was it.
was.
That's exactly where I was.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing that out. Yeah.
Well,
It was fun.
You know, everybody needs to take a little trip every now and then.
It's true. Tripping.
Every now and then.
Well, what's new with you?
What's new with us? It's hard to talk about what's new with us. We don't know what is in store
okay.
for us, really, do
So
we, Jim?
We're just standing
No, we
quiet about
don't.
that, huh?
And, you know, if you found us on the channel tonight, thank you very much for watching. Because last Tuesday, I know there was some confusion about that, and we weren't even sure where we were on the channel either. So
there's
right now we're on 193. So
Oh, we are?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I don't get it, so either one of them, so I'm okay. Well,
Yep.
I won't ask.
Peggy
I'll just
lived-
leave that
Peggy-
alone.
Well, the federal government made a mandate several years ago that by what, Jimmy, 2015,
I think so. Yeah.
every
Everybody had to-
television had to be HD. All television
I
had
don't
to be
think it has to be
broadcast in
HD.
HD.
It has to be digital.
Digital.
Yeah. Right.
And so, as these companies are changing over
To digital.
to digital, they are making changes in their lineup as well, and they have chosen to take us off of Charter Channel 6, where we've been for 22 years, and branded and nestled in real good, you know, and spent a lot of money and a lot of time.
So if people out there are confused, just keep going forward till you get to 193?
Well,
Will we show up, or do we know?
If you've got expanded basic kind of thing, you know, it's probably easier to punch in 193 on your keyboard.
I
But
have
if you
to
just
surf.
if you just have the basic cable package, then where you used to find us on 6, there's only about 20 channels on there. If you so choose, you can just keep punching channel up. We'd be the last one on there, I think, right, John?
I've not found us anywhere except 193.
Well, it's 193, but
Yeah.
you know, all of those slots are not filled. It'll
Yeah,
go from
that's true.
20 to 193.
I'll interrupt. You did ask me what I was doing. I am working on a project over in Winchester for the Wounded Warriors, which comes off October 25th. And it's a fundraiser for Wounded Warriors, Fisher House, and all organizations that have to do with the military.
We're going to have somebody on here next week about that?
Yes, we are.
Good, good.
So I'm excited about that because it's such a great cause.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, so if you can't find us, well, if you're watching this, you found us.
Exactly.
if you're
Tell your
watching, you find
friends.
it.
Tell your friends where we are.
And you know, that turned out to be not such a bad thing for John, because in the process of that, we had to put some new stuff in over here just to survive.
Yeah.
So now John had no football this weekend.
Still got none.
And you're getting it this week, but John had no football over here this past weekend.
Oh.
So, you know, Tennessee lost a close one to Florida, 10-9.
Didn't get to see that.
Well, you didn't have to suffer through that. Let's say it was frustrating.
I had to suffer through trying to figure out what was going on.
Well, that's true.
And then Alabama gets beat by Ole Miss.
Who would have thought?
I know, who would have
You know,
thought
right
that?
today I noticed that Alabama Ole Miss and Mississippi State are tied for third in the nation in the AP poll.
Mississippi State beat LSU.
A&M.
A&M, yeah, that's right.
Texas
A&M.
A&M rather handily. So,
Yeah, beat them like a drum.
Yeah.
And then, did the old ball coach get beat again this week?
Yes, he did.
He got beat by
Ole Miss.
By Ole Miss.
By Ole Miss,
No,
yes. Yeah, it was Ole Miss.
Ole Miss played Alabama.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, you're talking about Steve Spurrier.
Spurrier
yeah,
over in-
Yeah, okay. Yes, he lost to Kentucky.
Lost to Kentucky.
Yeah.
So South Carolina lost to Kentucky. I think 5 of the top 10 teams got beat
Yeah.
this week.
Yeah, big shakeup.
Yeah,
in the
crazy,
rankings.
crazy. So it's college football's all.
I can't. I'm not sure what happened to Kentucky. I mean, you know,
They've got a new coach up
They've
there
got a new
who's-
coach, exactly, and they hadn't won an SEC game, I think, in over a year or year and a half. And
Did you see those
they just,
uniforms?
yeah, absolutely. They're coming in there. They're totally
Look
different
like
team.
Oregon.
Yeah, I know it.
Maybe that's what did it.
Yeah, it could have been the uniform.
Yeah, it could have been the
Could've been the
uniform.
uniform.
I suspect it must be the coaching, for goodness sake.
Got to be.
Yeah.
Got to be. And Peyton Manning threw his 500th touchdown
Wasn't that
pass.
cool? And he'll beat, what is the record? 508?
500. Well,
There is a-
yeah,
there's
Brett
a
Favre threw
508
508.
Yeah.
And he
So
threw
he
4
could
the other
beat
day.
that.
So
Yeah, and
so he's at 503 right
threw
now.
for 470
Pretty
yards,
Yeah, I mean,
isn't he, you know.
it's
And,
crazy.
I mean, he's not even. Yeah,
This is just the 4th game. They got 12 more games to play.
exactly.
He can set the record this
Oh,
year.
wait.
Yeah.
And
He'll
plus,
have it.
plus Peyton's probably going to play another couple of years. After
I'd
this
think
year,
so, yeah.
You know.
But how great for Tennessee. You know, I've noticed that if you're a Tennessee fan, one of the things I've noticed is I was watching the Butch Jones show the other morning, and they're talking about all the players. They're calling it, what is it, Tennessee for Life?
Vol for life.
Vol for Life,
Yeah.
and they're bringing all these old players back
Yeah.
who were incredible players, and they're all coming back, and they're spending time on campus, and they're spending
That's
time
nice.
with these young men.
Mm-hmm.
And these are guys like Peyton Manning and guys who have made it in the NFL. I mean, made it on the biggest stage there is.
Yeah.
And they're bringing these guys back to campus, and I just think Butch is doing a great job. He's going about it the right
Yes,
way.
he is.
Making a lot more money that way, too.
Oh, I'm
It
sure.
brings a lot of people in. I think
Well,
that's very smart marketing.
honestly, since he's been there, the average attendance at UT for home games has went from like 87,000 up to about nearly 102,000.
Well, it looked
so.
packed
I mean,
this
that's
weekend.
15,000 people. That's a lot of money.
And
Then you love the
College
checkerboards.
yeah,
Yeah.
15,000 people, and,
Yeah.
and they're spending at least $100 a head while they're there.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's a bunch of money.
Yeah, it is.
Big,
you know,
big,
we were
big
talking about Peyton a moment ago. Peggy, are you going to forgive us for just
I
going
don't
off
care.
this
You
tangent?
just go right on.
You know?
I'll just go off in my music world. And
But
We have music on the show today.
I know.
you know, when you look back at 1998 when Peyton graduated from college, he did not win the Heisman Trophy that year, and
which
No.
surprised
you
a
know,
lot of people. I
and
think.
look at
Yeah.
his program. I mean, of course, that's based on your performance in college, but I think we all always, if you're a Tennessee fan, you always felt like he got shafted on that.
Well, he
year.
didn't win it because somebody from the SEC won it the year before, and
Yeah.
they gave it to
Charles
yeah.
Woodson. Yeah.
Yeah. I quit caring about it after that because
Yeah.
if there was ever anybody in college
deserved it, it would have
athletics
been Peyton
that
Manning.
stands for what the Heisman Trophy
Yeah.
stands for, it was Peyton Manning, who came back his senior year and played when he'd already graduated,
Right.
and the kid who got it as soon as he got it dropped out of college and turned pro.
Right.
You know, so
That's the break.
after that, I just really didn't care that much.
Yeah.
I don't care that much about it right
Great
now.
people do not always win the biggest award.
That's right. It's like a guy wrote a song one time about it's not let's see what is it? Winston Churchill said, in war, it's not always the person that is right that wins. It's the person that's left.
Yeah.
You know, the person with the flag and the gun and the sword still standing is the winner.
Is the winner.
They might not be right,
Right.
Exactly.
but they win.
But they win.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
wars and fights ain't about who's right. It's the one who's left that wins.
That's right.
I think there's a song.
It's
there.
already been written.
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
sorry.
We gotta go. Don't you go away. We're PTV on 193. We'll be right back
At least this week.
this week.
The Kia Cadenza sale continues at Russell Barnett Kia of Tullahoma. We still have a great selection to choose from. Purchase one of these Kia Cadenzas out of dealer inventory and receive dealer invoice pricing, starting as low as $32,545. No games, no gimmicks, no hassles. With America's best warranty, the 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, Kia is the power to surprise. Invoice pricing for a limited time only. Russell Barnett, Kia of Tullahoma. Why buy anywhere else?
The highest standard of trust offers a sense of safety and comfort. It's established over time. You know when you see it. You know when you feel it. There's a standard of trust in healthcare. It's the Joint Commission Gold Seal of Approval. In 2003, Life Care Center of Tullahoma voluntarily achieved this accreditation and maintains it still today. Life Care, meeting a higher standard because residents matter most.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network. You know, watching that Life Care commercial that was on just a minute ago brings up a subject that this past weekend our Tullahoma High School band had a fundraiser, and it was a march-a-thon, and what they did is they took pledges for miles covered, and they went around town to different communities in town and different neighborhoods and played music and got donations for that. And they were at Life Care Center, and I stopped by to see the Tullahoma High School band playing some really neat stuff at Life Care. Let's take a look.
We have the residents at Tullahoma Life Care all lined up for the Tullahoma High School band to come out and give them a little serenade. They'll be here in just a minute. They're coming to the front door and going to play. Look at that smiling face right there. Hey, Mom. All right, here comes the Tullahoma High School marching band over here, and they're gonna play for the residents at Life Care. They're gonna line up here in the front of the parking lot, and we'll see if we can get a little video of this. Look at there. Look at that pretty girl right there. Here's that little Woodard girl. And here they go. right, gentlemen, these are the Tullahoma High School band directors. Greg, what's your day been like today? What are you trying to do with your band today?
Well, today's our march-a-thon. This was actually Justin's idea, and he's kind of been spearheading the whole thing. But we've been visiting different communities around town today, marching through neighborhoods. We try to let people know we were coming through in advance. Of course, this is a fundraiser for the band program. The students have been selling basically pledges. People have been pledging to support the students for so many miles in today's march-a-thon, and we've raised quite a bit of money. And now we're just kind of giving back. We've been marching around the neighborhoods, letting people know we're coming out. We wanted to visit here and play for these folks here at the nursing home. About to go over to the mall, and we're going to finish up at Walmart here in a little bit.
Okay, Justin, how did you come up with this idea?
Well, actually, this is a big thing in Texas, and I kind of stole the idea from a lot of Texas bands. I did some research on it and kind of took the best aspects of each march-a-thon that they do down there, and thought it would be a great way to give back to our community. We have such a great community here supporting the band program, and it was a really cool way for us to give some music back to them.
Very good. Guys, thank you for what you do. You know, we just have about the greatest band in the whole state of Tennessee, and it's because of the dedication of the two of you and all of the volunteers and parents that are involved. Absolutely. And you do give to this community every time you strike up a note, and we're sure proud of you.
Thank you very much.
Let the Smokehouse be your mountain getaway destination in beautiful Monteagle, Tennessee. Enjoy our cabins, restaurant, and old general store. Shop thesmokehouse.com featuring homemade barbecue sauces, jellies, and many other fine Tennessee products. Our live Music on the Mountain series features some of the best local and Nashville talent every Friday and Saturday night, 6:30 p.m. No cover, kids welcome.
This is a tree that was never chopped down to make a crutch that was never needed. By a child who never got polio. Because vaccine was never in short supply. Thanks to people whose compassion wasn't either. Over the years, Rotary Club members have helped immunize over 2 billion children against polio. Soon, the world will be polio-free. Rotary, humanity in motion.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
I'm meteorologist Leland Statham, and you're watching Just Plain Living here on Charter Channel 6.
If baby's got a kiss is sweeter than honey. We ain't got a lot of money, but we don't need any of that, 'cause we're in love. This boy is really something, and this feeling is taking its toll on me. I just can't get enough. Lately, there's only been one thing on my mind. I'm gonna love until the end of time.
All right. I knew when I walked in the studio today and I heard this young man playing and this young, beautiful girl sitting there, I thought, something good's happening today. You've been listening to Courtney and Jesse,
Yes.
and I didn't use any last names because I failed to get them. And
Courtney
maybe it does. Holder?
Yes, and Jesse Black.
Yes.
Jesse Black. And they're two up and coming, what, 16 and 17? Is that what somebody told
That's
me?
right.
17, he's 16.
Yeah,
Yep.
and that's awesome. And you wrote that song.
Yes, ma'am, I did.
How long have you been writing?
I've been writing for years and years, but I've only been playing in public for about a year.
And so you've just been stashing
Yes.
your your songs away.
Yep, storing it away.
And you ran into Jesse and
Yeah.
something clicked, and here you are playing music together, which I think is awesome. Jesse, when did you start?
I started playing when I was about 10. I
When you were
started
10?
writing when I was about 12.
Can you remember what inspired you? What was the first click inside your head that said, I
Yeah,
got to
one
do
of my
this?
friends told me that I should listen to Guns N' Roses, and so
Yeah.
I went home and listened to Sweet Child of Mine, and I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah, and that did it.
And I've
huh?
gotten away from like the hard rock side of it, but I still listen to it. I mean,
Yeah, I kind of hear some blues coming
right,
out
blues.
in your playing.
Yeah, I do a lot of blues, a lot of bluegrass, a lot of country. I listen to all genres, so I play all genres.
And that's obvious. And I notice you have a guitar there, and you also
Right,
have the mandolin, and so that's wonderful. Where all do you play?
We play all over East Tennessee and Middle Tennessee, North Georgia. We play in Nashville,
Wonderful.
Murfreesboro.
Anybody that'll listen,
Knoxville.
right?
Anyone who wants to hire us,
Right, I
we will
even-
do the job.
You're there to do
I
the
even
job.
played in South Dakota this summer. So.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah,
Was that
Kansas
a
City and
special
it
invitation?
was a special
sort of
thing. Yeah, it's there's this place up there that I go and play from time to time, and it's a great crowd. They always pack the house. Then on the way back, I played a couple shows in Kansas City, so I made it worthwhile.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, it was
And
great.
so I know you play up at the Smokehouse some.
We play at the Smokehouse
Yeah, were
quite
you
a bit.
doing that this weekend by any chance?
This past weekend, we both
did,
played our
yeah.
first second act show there together. That was really fun.
So you
And,
did several tunes.
Yes.
About an hour and a half
Following
worth.
Austin Adams.
Good for you. Well, you're very talented. There's no doubt about it. And where do you aspire to go with this?
I mean,
As far as
I'm
you can
planning
go.
to make it my career.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely have backup plan, like everyone should, but I definitely plan on pursuing it.
You have to do it, don't you?
Right.
It's almost not a choice.
It's like the whole thing where if you don't like your job, it's a job, but if you like your job, it's just something you do and you get paid
and
for.
it's more fun. I always
Right.
love what you do. I think that's an important lesson in life. I would like to hear another number, and I would like to hear one of yours.
All right,
we
sure.
heard Courtney's song, so let's listen to one by Jesse. What's the name of this?
This one's called Bound to Roam.
Bound to Roam.
Me and a boy named Trey Binkley wrote this about a week ago. And
You have plenty of room.
Courtney, do you want to sing backup on this?
Yeah.
Lead foot on the interstate, 90 mile an hour like I'm running late. The truth is, I'm just afraid, 'cause you're the only girl that's made me wanna stay. But I'm a rambling man, been trying to do the best I can. So take me back, way back home, 'cause I've been gone for way too long, and I'm sick traveling on, city to city. Yeah, it's a pity I'm bound to roam. Well, I'm afraid of commitment, afraid of myself, afraid I can't trust anyone else. I'm afraid to leave, afraid to stay, afraid I'm gonna live my whole life this way. But yeah, I'm terrified. Never meant to make you cry, so take me back, way back home, 'cause I've been gone for way too long, and I'm sick traveling on, city to city. Yeah, it's a pity I'm bound to roam. I went down to the river, but I can't swim. I drowned down there till the lights turn dim, and I don't need you to hold me down. Spinning in circles on the merry-go-round, I'm trying to change. Why do I feel the same? So take me back, way back home, 'cause I've been gone for way too long, and I'm sick traveling on, city to city. Yeah, it's a pity I'm bound to roam. Yeah, I'm bound to roam. Thank you.
I love that. What a good song. I think that we have to, do we close this out right now? I think we have to, because we have things going on. But you want to tell us anything at all as the last minute words here of what motivates you most?
Well, I write songs. It's my passion, and I hope to be attending college next fall, studying music, and hopefully working with a place like NSAI, writing songs. And I hope to get my songs published. And
you know what? I think you will. I think you will. So. I can tell that you're driven.
It's my dream.
That's awesome. How about you, Jesse?
I just love to play. I mean, like, from the time that I've been 10, it's like I never put down the guitar. And, you know, I'll put down the guitar and I'll pick up the mandolin or pick up the banjo or the keyboard. And
I love your message in Bound to Roam.
Really?
Good job. Yeah. I liked it.
Because I'm not sure what the message is.
I know.
I wrote it and I wasn't sure what it was about.
We'll be back with more of Living. Courtney and Jesse, don't forget, you're going to see them as time goes by.
Looking for a unique gift for someone special, or perhaps something just for yourself? Then you need to check out Grady Mac Denim Company, right here in the heart of Tullahoma. Grady Mac features the full line of men's and women's Lucky brand apparel. Stop in and check out our denim production line. Grady Mac offers a full line of outdoor sporting apparel and much more. And check out our custom fly fishing equipment, fine art, and signed sports memorabilia. There's something for everyone at Grady Mac Denim Company, the most unique store in Tullahoma.
We get closer to a world with more birthdays when we take cancer patients by the hand. We help them find answers and guidance and hope, and give them more candles to light. We're the American Cancer Society. Help create a world with more birthdays at morebirthdays.com.
Hey, I'm Terry Stroop, Stroop's Accurate Refrigeration. Our goal is to provide you comfort in your home. Cool weather's on its way. Sign up for your fall maintenance now. Trane is offering some special financing or rebates for your new systems you purchase this fall. Our goal is to provide you with the best possible service and installation job available. Our office staff is beat by none. Now that you've heard the Stroop Effect, the picture is clear. Call Stroops for all your service needs.
Today I want to talk about my favorite reality TV shows, sports. Charter's got over 85 available sports channels, many in HD. Baseball, basketball, hockey, motorsports. Charter also has mobile apps that let you watch ESPN on the go. Subscriptions to all season packages, regional sports networks, even the curling championships in Calgary. Do you like sports? Charter's the one to watch.
Good morning, all you wonderful viewers in TV land. And thank you, camera gentlemen, for putting a good, sharp, clear, colorful, contrasted picture on the screen. We're going to continue our little trip down memory lane now for you viewers, and we've had a number of people say, hey, I remember that, and that was so-and-so, and now it's really changed. That is the location of buildings and stores and places downtown and other places too. But we're still on kind of the downtown circuit. We're a block from downtown, and recently we gave a story on the 100 block of North Jackson Street on both sides, and we thought we would continue that just a little bit and give you some information on the 200 block of North Jackson Street. Before that, though, the corner of Grundy and North Jackson is the Tullahoma Municipal Building, better known, of course, as the City Hall. And behind it was the first Tullahoma Public Works lot. They had one dump truck and one big pile of gravel there on the west side of the alley behind the City Hall, and there was a residence there. I think Mr. and Miss Grammer lived in that residence, and it was later raised, and the Public Works Department was moved down to the South Jackson near the Maplewood Cemetery. And anyway, on the building behind the City Hall on West Grundy Street is the USO building. And it was built during World War II and at the beginning of Camp Forrest, and it was attended by thousands and thousands of soldiers that came for meals and to read and to write letters and see performances. Most of the outfits at Camp Forrest had an orchestra or a band there, and they performed almost weekly. And the ladies from Manchester and Winchester and Tullahoma, young ladies, came to be part of a dance that they really enjoyed and did well. They had the beautiful music and all the popular tunes of the 40s that were just so enjoyable. And they had a fountain for refreshments, and ladies brought cookies and things for them. It was a great place to be. And that building was vacated, of course, after the war. And by the way, it was the Protestant USO building, and the Catholic USO building was at the corner of Clement Drive and South Jackson, where the present school administration building is. And it burned in 1949. But anyway, the USO building on West Grundy Street was later bought by a church, and to my knowledge, they have services there regularly. Now, at the other corner of West Lincoln, and not West Lincoln, but West Grundy Street and North Jackson Street was a big two-story residence. I think it was occupied or owned by the Adelot family, and I guess it was Doak Adelot that was quite a newspaper man and historian, and he was probably mayor or alderman at one time. Very popular fellow, and they needed to make room for another building, so they jacked up his big, huge residence and moved it over one lot so that they would have room. And in the middle 30s, the Pan Am service station was built there on the corner. And just recently, it has been raised and moved from that corner, and that corner now is to be used for a parking lot for the city hall. And 2 lots are totally vacant and are used for parking. Now, the 3rd lot is a restaurant. It was a residence, and it was occupied by Dr. L.E. Taylor and Mrs. Taylor, and was there for many, many years, and has stayed there and remained there. And Butler's Pantry has opened their eating establishment there several months ago. And the other side of that lot was the used to be a big, large vacant lot that was used for the Chautauqua out of Chautauqua, New York. It came once every summer for a couple of weeks, and they had stage shows and productions there at the Chautauqua. Later, it was occupied and built by the Shepherd's Chevrolet Garage, and it was a very, very important part of Tullahoma at that time. And the Chevrolet place moved way out on North Jackson, and it was occupied by Mr. Roper, that had a bicycle shop there, and currently has lawnmower and power tools on that particular lot that is at the corner of Moore and North Jackson Street. Now, quickly on the other side of the street, at West Grundy and North Jackson, the First Christian Church was built in 1876 on that particular corner. And on down the North Jackson Street was a residence of Dr. Boyd had a residence there, and the telephone company bought that property and built a new modern telephone exchange. And I have a picture someplace of about 8 or 10 of the switchboard operators there at the telephone exchange, and it was built because of the tremendous amount of messages that came in for the people at Camp Forest. And of course, Camp Forest had an exchange out there from 1941 to 1946. On the other side of the telephone building was the Vandegrift home, a 2-story wooden structure, and then on the corner was the Schultz residence. And later the other group of people down on down North Jackson Street. Now, one real important place was the big 2-story brick home with an iron fence around it at the corner of Grizzard and North Jackson Street was the Ewan Davis home. And it was a beautiful structure. When it became available, the Travelers Aid and the I believe the American Legion bought that home and used it for a while till they built their current place out on North Washington Street. But that was a very historic home there. The Davises had always been prominent people in Tullahoma, and I know Mr. Ewing Davis at one time was president of the International Red Cross. Also, he was ambassador at large with his office men there in Washington, D.C. And that home was very, very beautiful, and it was raised, and it is currently occupied by attorneys' offices there. Now, on down the street from there was the Dr. Ray had a home there. He practiced, I think, in his home, and another structure there was a two-story structure that was Mr. H.L. Noblett's home, or rather Mr. John Noblett's home, and it was an important part there. And we want you to remember, this is not the end of the story, because there's a whole lot more to come. We thank you for watching, and we hope that you have a real, real good day.
The highest standard of trust offers a sense of safety and comfort. It's established over time. You know when you see it. You know when you feel it. There's a standard of trust in healthcare. It's the Joint Commission Gold Seal of Approval. In 2003, Life Care Center of Tullahoma voluntarily achieved this accreditation and maintains it still today. Life Care, meeting a higher standard because residents matter most.
Have you heard that little voice that beckons you to come home to Tennessee? Well, here's your chance. Here's a property offered by its owner. It's 20 miles from the National Walking Horse Celebration grounds in Shelbyville, Tennessee, and only 10 minutes away from the Jack Daniel Distillery in Lynchburg. It's located at 769 Shipman Creek Road. This property has over a 5,300 square foot home on 45 acres, and a sprawling 200 acres is also available. Let's take a look at the house. Built in 1998, this home has 4 bedrooms and 3.5 baths. This home offers wide open views, featuring the main floor with over 2,700 square feet of living room, an eat-in kitchen, a formal dining area, and a massive 20 by 19 master bedroom with a master bath and fireplace included. There is craftsmanship at every turn, solid cherry cabinets, built-in cherry shelves, and other solid cherry appointments. It's a 2-story home with 3 nicely sized bedrooms upstairs. Down a spiral staircase, the basement hosts a 40 by 40 den with a handcrafted bar. We're leaving the jukebox here, folks. The basement is a recreation room on steroids. There are too many closets to count and more than you'll ever need. There are so many places in this home to find peace that you'll seldom want to leave it. But when you do, you'll discover up to 200 acres of paved roads with city water. The property is quilted with streams, woods, ponds, and open pasture. The view from the porch alone is enough to say you're home. The property includes a 3-bay heavy construction shop and plenty of room to build stables and graze livestock. If Tennessee's been calling you home, start your journey by calling this number. A property like this comes on the market but once in a lifetime. We think you'll love it. We think you'll stay. This is a very real estate.
I'm meteorologist Leland Statham from the News Channel 5 Weather Center. Look to Jim Fuller and crew for local news night here on Channel 6.
Yeah, seems like I can't go by a week without somebody sticking something on my head. I am turned into the yellow fire plug, right? I kind of look like one, don't I? Richard Chastain, Fire Chief. What are we doing? Aye, Captain.
We're visiting to talk about fire safety. It's Fire Prevention Week.
Yes, it is.
In Tullahoma and nationwide. talk a little bit about some fire safety things. If you've got time.
What's this right here?
That is a smoke alarm.
And you have those?
We have those, and they're free.
Free. There's no reason for you not to have a smoke alarm operating in your house.
A working smoke detector.
If you can get one free from the fire department.
That's right. We have those. We also have fire extinguishers. If you don't have one and you live in the city of Tullahoma, you get a hold of us. We'll fix you up. And what's the price?
Free.
Free.
Folks, there's nothing better than free. My mic is on.
Only in Tullahoma.
My mic's never turned off.
Only in Tullahoma can you get things like this free.
Free in Tullahoma. Is Richard's mic turned on? Maybe not. Well, let's see. He hadn't touched it. Well, let's see.
I get the blame for a lot of things, but I'm not taking the blame
for the mic. Now, what about a hat? If somebody needs a hat like this, can they get one of them free?
We've got a few of those left, although we kind of cater towards smaller people, elementary school. But we'll give away over 2,000 hats this year.
Now, let me ask about Fire Pup. Is Fire Pup going to be out roaming around this week on Fire Week?
Fire Pup, he actually gets this week off because schools are out.
Oh.
So we let him do a little rehab.
Yeah. So he's laying under the porch.
He stays busy. He stays busy when school's in session because we visit every elementary school. Every child ages pre-K through the 5th grade gets a fire safety message every year in Tullahoma.
And what about the little plug?
Fire plug, his battery's recharging.
I love it.
But when they get back in session, he'll be
ready to go.
Now we do have a few visits in the next couple of weeks at preschools that aren't associated with the school system.
Right.
But,
Okay.
Most of our school stuff is, I don't know if anything that I've said has been heard.
Yes, it has.
Okay, it has.
It has, just not maybe as demonstrative as it will be now.
Okay, well, I want to say that you look excellent in your officer's hat.
Thank you.
And I feel comfortable in my grunt hat because this is a firefighter's hat. That is a lieutenant's hat.
Oh, well, we need to change.
You're doing a fine job. And if anything was wrong, you get the blame.
I get the blame.
So that's the beauty of the yellow hat.
Hose it down, folks. Whatever. Hose it down. Put the water on it.
Put the wet stuff on the red stuff.
Put the wet stuff on the red stuff. Hey, you know what? You know what was really interesting? And when y'all had your little open house over there about a month or so back.
Yes, sir.
Introducing the new fire truck.
Yes.
And you had a computer-operated thing over there that looked like a fire, and you were teaching young people how to put out a fire, and it would, if they didn't spray right at the base of the fire, if they sprayed up into the fire kept going.
That's correct.
And it shows people how to manage a fire. I just think that stuff like that you do educationally, along with this type of stuff for the community, is just marvelous, wonderful.
Well, our number one job is to prevent fires.
Right.
If we can prevent them before they start, or at least have trained people in the area when one does start, they can get it out quickly. It saves a huge amount of work for us and damage and possible injury. So, we send out the fire safety message year round. We don't just do it during Fire Prevention Week.
Right.
And we, when we visit civic organizations, companies, factories in town, we can train them on how to use a fire extinguisher. We just did Robert E. Lee School. Mm-hmm. All the school teachers at 1:30 on Wednesday got a fire extinguisher class.
That's wonderful.
And they can take that home with them, even if they don't live in Tullahoma.
Right.
They take that home. It may save their house, their family.
Right.
Who knows?
But the big thing is, folks, right now, is this is free. That's free.
That's right. John, that's got a 10-year battery. If your smoke detectors are more than 10 years old, they need to be replaced because they're obsolete. We give you a smoke detector, we will install it, and it's there for 10 years. No battery change, nothing. All you do is test it. That's it.
Fire extinguisher. You need one of those. You can get it from the Tullahoma Fire Department for free.
Remember, all fires start with a spark, an arc, a match. They start small.
Right.
That'll put them out. That'll put them out before your whole bedroom's on fire or your whole kitchen's on fire.
Do you still have that heat
We have a thermal imaging camera.
There you go.
We have three of them.
Three of them.
And we can come out if you have any kind of situation, even an electrical outlet that's warm, you experience maybe a lightning strike in your area and you're not sure if it hit your house. If you'll call us for free, we'll come out. We'll check your whole building. We'll check your breaker box for excessive heat.
Right.
It's an amazing thing. It can virtually see inside the wall. And if there's any heat in there, we don't have to tear your whole wall down. We can cut a little spot out and take care of the problem.
What's going on.
That's correct.
Right. That's your Tullahoma Fire Department, folks, serving you for free. Well, it's not really for free because we pay the taxes that pay them to be able to do that, but there's no extra expense.
That's right. We'll come check it out for you at no charge to you.
All right. Chief, thanks for being here, buddy.
Thank you.
We appreciate what you do for us in this community.
Thank you. We're proud to serve.
We'll be right back.
Grill 'em at Gillum's, Tullahoma.
Are you a shoeanista with no place local to find your style? Well, now you don't have to travel any further than Bren's Shoe Boutique, located at the Village on Jackson, 1940 North Jackson Street, Suite 120 in Tullahoma. From funky to formal, you can find the fit and style that will make you smile at Bren's. A shoeanista herself, owner Brenda Kemp offers brands like Rocket Dog, Jessica Simpson, Mia, Nine West, J. Renee, Bandolino, and more. Want that accessory splash that none of your friends have? Bren's offers a selection of one-of-a-kind handbags and jewelry with just the right bling. So if your shoe selection doesn't stack up, find what you've been looking for at a price you can afford at Bren's Shoe Boutique, now open in Tullahoma.
When you see the sign, The Main Event, take a close look inside at a hair studio that offers services by some of the best master stylists in Middle Tennessee. These stylists offer a list of services that compete with large city salons, from trendy cuts for men, women, and children to the latest color techniques, including highlights and bold color accents. Other services offered include permanent hair weaving and relaxing to formal hairstyle for that special occasion. You can also give yourself a very special treat with a full makeover, including full body waxing. For your convenience, we are open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until the last client leaves happy. Call and make your appointment at 931-571-8682 or stop by our Tullahoma location at 207 North Jackson Street. Pamper yourself at The Main Event today.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We brought you a piece at the first of this show about the Tullahoma High School Band doing their first annual fundraiser, which was called a Marchathon. Well, they did also on Saturday as part of that Marchathon, did something very special. Max Weaver was the band director at Tullahoma High School for some 39 years, and this week he celebrated his 85th birthday. And to kind of give him a little boost on his birthday, Max has kind of been in ill health for a while, but the band showed up at his house and played a little song for him. We talked to Max prior to the band showing up. We want to bring you that video right now.
Max, I understand that there's going to be a band marching down this street here to your house in just a few minutes. Well, what do you think about all that?
That'd be something to see, I'll tell you, if that happens.
Well, I'm pretty sure that it's going to happen. I just wondered, you've been retired a few years right now. Since you retired from teaching music and such, do you ever kind of go out and watch these bands and see how they're doing these days?
Oh Lord, I love to watch them on television. I don't go to any of the games anymore. I guess I should, but I guess I'm too lazy to get out there.
Well, you deserve the right to be that. You spent how many years as band director at Tullahoma High School? A number of years, I know.
39.
39 years. Was being obviously music was something that you all had a keen interest in as you were growing up. Did you really aspire to be a band director?
Always. That's all I've ever wanted to do.
I would imagine that being a band director, you have to know a lot about all kinds of different instruments. Did you play several instruments yourself, Max?
Oh yeah.
What did you play?
Just about all of them. I was a drummer to start with. I'd played drums in high school and part of the time through college, and I played trombone in college, and baritone and trumpet and a little clarinet, not much, but I tried to play school.
There has to be a lot of good memories over your 39 years in the music business.
Yeah, there are.
Well, in just a few minutes, there's going to be a band we think coming into your yard. So we're going to go out there and kind of wait for them. So when they finish, maybe you can just kind of give me a little critique about how did this group do. I know that this week is your birthday, Max, and as I told you when I came in, I was in high school some 50 years ago, and you were the band director then. So from Charter Channel 6, we just want to wish you a very, very happy birthday, Max.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate that. I really do.
This is Mr. Max Weaver. How long were you the band director?
Probably about...
How long? 39 years.
Woo!
39 years. 39 years, folks. So, this is legacy right here. This is legacy. What this man did so long ago has affected all of you. It's impacted all of you. You owe him. We owe him so much. Okay? So, you want to conduct?
Yeah.
All right, so let's start off with the fight song and Rocky Top. Fight song, Rocky Top. Get set. 2, 1, 2.
Max, how'd they do?
How'd they do?
Yeah, how did the band do?
Oh my God! What a band!
It was wonderful.
Great. I can't express that.
Round of applause for the
It's gone a long way since then.
They're a pretty good group.
Oh my God, that sound. That's a great sound.
Thank you.
Great sound.
They are.
They're
just terrific.
It's a long way from the 64 people when I came to Tullahoma in 1955. That's 64 in the high school band. No beginners. I started off with beginners in the 6th grade even then. And it has grown considerably since then. Improved mightily. But you'll never know how much I appreciate it most.
And the fight song, he was the one that brought it to Tullahoma. Oh.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Hi, Grandma. It's Jake. I'm calling to tell you I love you more than anything in the whole wide world, even ice cream. I love you more than spaghetti and meatballs. I love you more than snakes and monkeys and sharks and whales and praying mantises. Bye, Grandma. Love you.
Let it all in with Charter Phone, including unlimited local and long-distance calls.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. When I came into the studio this morning, someone told me that we had an FBI agent in the studio, and I thought, well, they must be coming after my partner, Jerry Harris. I just figured it was a matter of time, but turns out that's not the case, and I'm pleased to introduce to you Keith Moses, or Special Agent Keith Moses, who is with the FBI and has just recently, in the last couple of months, been assigned to the Tullahoma office.
Yes, sir. Glad to be here this morning.
And you know, I have to think there's probably a lot of people that really don't know that we have FBI agents assigned specifically to the Tullahoma area. But that's pretty common in the FBI, isn't it?
It is. It is. We have 56 field offices and 380 some odd smaller resident agencies, and Tullahoma happens to be one of them.
Right. So, kind of, what is your job, Keith, in this area?
My responsibilities are to conduct investigations and violations of federal law, primarily after the 9/11 attacks, prevent acts of terrorism, chasing down any leads that we may have from across the country. Fraud's a big issue for us. Counterintelligence, looking for spies is an issue. Protecting civil rights is a big priority of ours, as well as combating white-collar crime. And we say white-collar crime, that's a nickname that came about probably back in the 30s from people who were in the banking industries, white-collar shirts, if you will, that are committing frauds going in and ripping off banks and things of that nature. In the past few years, what's come to our attention, what's a big concern, is the cybersecurity. Everything touches on computers nowadays, whether it's going to be child pornography, whether it's fraud, whether it's terrorism, extortions, bank robberies, kidnappings. Everything is involving your telephones, your computers, things of that nature.
I think I saw on something you gave us, a little preliminary information, that you mentioned Bonnie and Clyde. Did the FBI investigate that crime?
Well, you know, back in the 20s, the FBI didn't have responsibility for bank robberies. What we had, though, was responsibility for vehicles that were taken across state lines. So, for example, Bonnie and Clyde would rob a bank in Tullahoma. They'd go down to Huntsville. Once they crossed that state line, it became a federal violation.
Right.
It was a result of Bonnie and Clyde and the public enemy number one that the Congress authorized us to investigate bank robberies.
Oh, okay.
If you go back to the 20s, FBI did not have investigation for or responsibility for kidnappings. When Baby Lindbergh was kidnapped, it was not a federal crime. Because of the Lindbergh kidnapping, Congress says we want somebody to investigate these crimes, and gave it to the FBI.
Federal crimes. Now, I would imagine that today, bank robberies, kidnappings, those things are federal crimes. If they are. Are they not?
They are federal crimes. The bank robberies aren't as much of a priority because of the terrorism, the demands are placed upon us. Kidnapping, human life is still a priority. When it does happen, we dedicate our resources to recover the victim back safely.
And I'm guessing that you guys have a lot of resources. That's why it makes it a pretty serious thing for a criminal who gets the FBI involved in that.
We have about 13,000 FBI agents. We have 22,000 non-agents that support us in many different ways. But when you look at the vast responsibility throughout the United States and our legal attaches, which we have 78 offices throughout different countries, it's very, very thin. By comparison, the New York City Police Department has over 40,000 police officers. We only have 13,000 agents. How we accomplish our mission is through our partnerships, through Joint Terrorism Task Forces, through Safe Street Task Forces. And what does that mean? What it means is we may have the Tullahoma PD working with us side by side. We have the Tennessee Highway Patrol working with us side by side, TBI. And we leverage our resources through those different agencies, and that's how we're able to stay on top of what we're trying to do.
And I would guess that when you moved to Tullahoma, came to Tullahoma a couple of months ago, that's probably one of your missions is to get to know these people.
It is. It is. Getting out and knowing the people who, look, I can't drive through your neighborhood, Jim, and see what's out of the ordinary. You can come home after the show and say, hey, you know what? My neighbor wasn't moving. Why is there a moving truck there? That's suspicious to you. You call it in. I'm an outsider, if you will.
Right.
And I hate to say that, but there's no way I can know the community the way that you and the police and the EMS and first responders would know the community.
Right. Now, your area here, I know you live in Lynchburg, I think you told me.
That's correct.
Of course, your office is here in the Markham Building in Tullahoma, but your area encompasses a little bit bigger area than that, I think, doesn't it?
We do have 6 counties. We have Lincoln County, Franklin County, Moore County, Bedford, Warren County, and Coffee County. So we have 6 counties that we cover, and it's my job to make sure that the liaison's conducted so we know what's going on in our territory and take those crimes that fall within our jurisdiction and act on those.
I see. You mentioned just a moment ago, and I want to touch on this because this is National Cyber Crime Awareness Month. Talk a little bit about that and what people can do to protect themselves.
You know, something that people don't think about is they get their computers, they pull them out of the box, they sign on, username, and they take off on the internet. It has been conveyed to me for those people who work in the computer industry, take off your username and go to a non-administrator type user. The reason being is you click on an email or an attachment and someone takes over your computer. If you have administrative rights, they now own your computer, they can shut it down. If you're a non-administrator, for example, I may come in with my name, Keith Moses, as the administrator, but as soon as I open the box and change it to some other name as a non-administrator, that limits somebody from taking over that computer and getting access. Social networking. People love to go on Facebook and Twitter, and then they turn around, sign off, and go on and do their banking online. It's a bad thing to do. You click on the wrong link, somebody takes over your keyboard, watch your strokes, they get your passwords, they now own your bank accounts. One thing you can do is keep a different password for your bank accounts versus your social networking. Change them often. Don't use words that are in a dictionary because the hackers out there will run programs that know all the words in the dictionaries. So use a passphrase. You know, my name is Keith Moses, or my son was born in, and put a number out there and use a passphrase versus a password.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me that there are computer programs that will try every word in the dictionary to see if that's your password?
Just like that.
Oh my goodness.
Something common that says, Keith Moses, Tullahoma, or you put something Tullahoma, and that word pops up. Yeah, they can crack it very easily.
Oh my goodness, that's scary, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Unbelievable. Who knew that? Yep. Yeah. So that should give you a lot of motivation to be a little careful when you're doing that.
Our director was on CBS News the other night, and he had mentioned that if someone's walking in a parking lot at night, they're going to be on alert. They're going to look around, look for the lights. They're going to be aware of their surroundings. They don't give a second thought we're on that internet in that parking lot. They just go in there wide open, and they leave themselves vulnerable. The biggest thing you can do is think before you click. I may send you an email from Keith Moses, and you may look at it and go, geez, why is Keith sending me this attachment? If you don't have any idea why I'm sending it, or you're not comfortable with it, delete it. Best thing you can do. If it's that important, somebody pick up the phone and they'll call you.
I notice a lot of things that's happening now is people are that may already be your friend on Facebook, and you'll get another friend request from that person, and I assume that gives them some advantage to find out personal things about you.
If somebody gets into your list of names and associates, and they start sending out these random things that says, hey, I'm in trouble, or hey, look at this great site, and I click on it, now I've just affected my computer. And that's how the hackers are so successful, because people are trusting of the emails they get from their friends. And again, you got to stop and think about it. A lot of scams are going out there from the IRS and the FBI saying that someone's wanted and they need to pay a certain amount of money so they can have the warrant go away. That's not going to happen. So again, if it looks unusual, stop and think about it before you click.
Right. And IRS, if they do something impersonating the IRS, is that a violation of federal law?
It's a federal crime to impersonate a federal agent, and we would investigate that if they're doing it, for monetary purposes. Social engineering is a big thing, Jim. Someone may call you on the phone and say, hey, I'm with a particular bank, and I need your account information. I need to verify your Social Security number. I need to verify your date of birth. If they're really your bank, they have all that information. They don't need to give it from you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's important to remember that, folks.
And if you're in doubt, turn around, hang up, and call your bank and say, look, I just received a call from you. You're asking for information. You call the bank, call a number that you're familiar with.
You've got so much information that I find fascinating. I want to make sure, I'm going to back up now because I want to make sure I don't leave this out before we run out of time. Tell me, your dad was an FBI agent as well.
He was. My dad was born in southern part of Kentucky, and back in the late 50s, they were looking for individuals to go to Washington, D.C. He became a non-agent, worked for a few years in Cleveland, Ohio. Became an agent in 1969, carried the badge to 1989 until he retired. My dad was a special agent in charge of the Birmingham, Alabama office. I was fortunate enough in 1991 to go across the stage at the FBI Academy, and my father presented me with his badge. I've carried it now for 23 years, and my daughter, who's at Tennessee Tech, is hoping to be a third generation, so we'll see what happens.
So it's possible that your daughter can actually carry the same badge here?
If she buckles down and studies hard and does the right thing, yes.
Well, over the years, what are some of your most memorable cases you've worked on?
Well, we had a top 10 fugitive, a guy named Clayton Lee Wagner, who sent out a bunch of anthrax letters throughout the East Coast. We were able to capture him after a 4-month chase with the U.S. Marshals and Postal Service and things of that nature, but it was very rewarding to get him captured. We had a bank robber out in San Diego that I got tangled up with. Unfortunately, it led to a shooting where he ended up in the hospital, but I was fortunate enough, God willing, to go home that night. And
that's scary.
It was. My son was 2 months away from being born, and my motivation was to come out of that backyard standing up, and unfortunately for the bank robber, he lost the battle. He ended up dying in prison years later. But those are more memorable ones. We had a few things involving aircraft. We pull people off who've gotten drunk, gotten in fights. Most people don't realize that an aircraft, crime aboard an aircraft, is a federal violation.
Okay.
And it's done that way because if a plane takes off in Nashville and flies down through Alabama, the question becomes, where did the violation occur? So we can do it at the point of departure or the point of arrival.
Right.
It's a federal crime.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your career has spanned how many years already?
Well, it's been 29 years.
Yeah,
29
okay.
years. Yeah. It's been a very rewarding career. I've been in San Diego, California, Washington, D.C. I was down in Jackson, Mississippi, Nashville, Tennessee for the last 5 years, and here in Tullahoma.
Real quick, are there still employment opportunities available within the FBI?
There are. There was a period there with the finances shut down with the sequestration about a year ago, but right now we're hiring. Not only are we hiring in a special agent position, but we have numerous other positions. Investigative analysts, we have photographers, we have fingerprint examiners. Computer scientists is huge. With, again, what we're doing in the realm of terrorism and cybercrime, we need people with computer skills.
Right.
And the government can't afford to pay them what Google and Yahoo can. So if somebody's patriotic and wants to spend their time and effort combating crime, we really could use them.
Right. Okay. Well, Keith, thank you so much for coming by today.
Thank you for having me, sir.
It's hard. You got so much information here. It's hard to cram it in to a 10-minute segment here. So
I can come back if you like.
That's what I was going to say. Since you're our neighbor here at the Markham Center, we're going to have him you back in here to talk to us again.
Love to.
All right, Keith. Thank you so much, and it's a pleasure to talk to you today. Folks, we'll be right back in just a moment, right after these messages.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the paint. Uh-oh. I just knocked a tree over. This is the paint doctor. I got the color wheel. Now, you know what a color wheel is? It is the wheel at the paint works where you pick all your colors to paint your room. It could be a multicolored beard. It could be a underarm fan. You never can tell. One thing we do know is that it's time to paint. You know, you can make your wife very happy if you go to your house and paint some rooms, or you paint the outside of the house, the inside of the house. It makes them feel very good because you work hard for them and they like that. All women like to see their man sweat. You know, they do. Honeydew is what they do. And you get to do it too. So you go to the paint works at 1960 North Washington Street and you see David Heikkinen over there, and he's the real paint doctor. He fix you up with color. It's so nice when the color is right. Go to Paintworks today. Martin Senor. See? Martin Senor. Right there. Martin Senor at the Paintworks. Bye, and we see you next time. I'm burning up.
Today's Charter tip, set up your parental controls. Children don't always know what they should and shouldn't watch, but parents do, and Charter can help. Charter's parental controls are easy to set up. All you need is a 4-digit PIN. Then you can lock specific titles, channels, and show ratings. Even hide program titles and block paid programming purchases. Family protection in just 4 digits. Another way Charter gives you more. Visit charter.net/tips to get started.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Chamber Coffee Day at the American City Bank. And we're at American City Bank today. It is the Chamber Coffee. Look at these good-looking people. Hey, you got 50 years. You got 50 years happening, don't you?
50 years today.
Look at them. They're down here. They're promoting it all. Look at there. There's one of them Hatfield boys. One of them Hatfield boys. Look at them. Right there. Call him right off the start. He can't run. He can't run. He can't hide. Look at here.
Is that the scary version?
That's the scary version out there. It's Halloween. This is a Halloween show. But there's beauty everywhere you look, isn't there? Good to see you, sir. And as always, there's Miss Kelly. Look at there. As always, there's good food at the Chamber Coffee.
Hey.
Look at there.
Look at this good
There's
stuff.
Sam Sneed right there. Yeah, they're all around. Look at them. Everybody's here. Hello, Billy Philpott. How are you, sir? Good to see you. Yeah, look at them. There's Motlow. Look at them all around. Sandy, John, James, Pamela. A little silver mine going on there. Yeah, they're all here. Look at them. Eating that good food. Here's some of the young Turks right here. Flat bellies.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Lakewood's a great show. They just punched, 3 weekends ago? 2.
This is at American City Bank, and also this is involving the Hospice of the Highland Rim Foundation. We want to see which one of y'all has the most hair.
We can both offer barber recommendations.
Yeah, there's Brian. Look at there. Look at that bunch right there. There's Papa John right there. Hello, hello. Look
along with their 10th anniversary, with Mr. Jim Clayton being the owner. And Tullahoma is very blessed to have American City Bank as part of our community. And we want to thank them today for their past and continued support of our community. It is through our community has benefited on many occasions from their generosity.
Earlier, Jamie had a couple comments to say about what we're celebrating here at American City Bank, and we're real proud of that. But unfortunately, I don't think there's anybody with our team today that can go back to 1974 that was a part of that founding group. The late George Vibert, who we give a lot of credit for, who deserves a lot of credit for really building the foundation for our current team today to continue to offer products and services to what we call the main thing, which is all of you guys. And we really appreciate you spending your time today. It's very special. We definitely can't stop today without mentioning what happened in 2004, which is where our current single shareholder put a deal together with George Vibert to acquire the bank. And we've been so pleased to be a part of the Clayton family out of Knoxville, Jim Clayton. I think this community has benefited greatly from what Jim does and what he does today as banks and a foundation. And we're fortunate we have a direct tie to that foundation and allows us to do a lot of gifting back in the community. It's something that's very special to us and something that we take very seriously, and we know it makes an impact every day. So thank you guys for joining us today. If we can do anything for you, just let us know.
Okay, so we have a $500 check here that we would like to present to Hospice on behalf of American City Bank for the good work that you do. So if you ladies will come up. Okay, so as I mentioned, T-shirts are over there, and at this time I'm going to turn the meeting over to our friends from the Hospice of Highland Rim Foundation, and thank you again for being here, friend.
Thank you, Carter. Thank you, everyone. We have chosen to stay in Tullahoma. My dad said Tullahoma was the dimple of the universe, and we believe in Tullahoma and quality of life in Tullahoma. That's why we're all here today, because we love our community, we love each other, we love serving one another. That's what Hospice is about. After Hospice of the Highland Rim affiliated with another company, Hospice of the Highland Rim Foundation was born. And its mission is to support families and caregivers who are facing end of life. So the foundation is helping people not only in Tullahoma but in the area who need financial support as they confront the challenges of life, especially when there's no income coming in because of illness and caregivers are surrounding their loved ones giving care.
All right, it's time, there's my lovely bride, Fran. It's time to say goodbye, folks. Thanks for being here with us, and we'll see you next time on PTV at 193.